Welcome. Tuesday. I hope you all had a great Memorial Day weekend. I hope you remembered the men and women that sacrificed so much for us to have a 3-day weekend. It's hard to believe that they actually give them a whole 3-day weekend for everything they sacrificed, but it is what it is. Happy Memorial Day after. I hope you guys all celebrated in a safe and cool way to celebrate the Memorial Day weekend. We have a phenomenal podcast for you today. We're bringing in all kinds of superstar guests. We're talking about a big tournament at Catalina. We got a lot of stuff going on right now in Southern California. So welcome to the show. Guys, I want you to kick back, relax, and enjoy yourself today. And just remember, everything that you hear on the news is all a lie. This is the only place you get the truth, and we're going to be talking big-time truth today. There's all kinds of stuff starting to happen, although the water on the coast is kind of cold. Justin had 55-degree water yesterday morning outside of Long Beach Harbor, 55-degree red tide. You get out to the islands, it jumps up to 61, 62, 63 in some spots. But gang, don't panic. That is exactly how it should be. This time of year, at the end of May, it's always cold. We start to see warmer water July, August, September. Historically, Marley's having a little snack there. I just had to give him, having his little sugar pod there. So that's what he's doing up there. But I just want you all to understand, don't panic. This is normal, historic water in Southern California. Looking at our old log books, I was on Let's Talk Hookup Sunday morning. I was talking about how in 1983, this is kind of how El Nino started out. Freezing cold water, red tide, and then the middle of June, all holy heck broke loose. Skipjack started showing up, then yellowfin tuna, dorado, yellowtail. So don't panic. I think it's set up to be a phenomenal year, just like I've been talking about. We've had epic halibut fishing, historic halibut fishing. That bluefin bit really good yesterday. It's biting in different areas. It was way far away. Now it's back in towards the beach. There were boats out on the 60 and the butterfly, and now there's boats inside on the 425 and the hidden bank, and there's lots of big bonita. There's just so much cool stuff happening. And then Catalina is like a powder keg. It's just getting ready to explode. And our guest that I'm bringing in here after Captain Al Clowers, he's going to tell you all about all the cool things that are going on at Catalina. He actually lives on the island, him and his family. So we got lots to talk about. There's a big tournament coming up in the beginning of June over there at the island. We're going to talk about that today. Do me a favor, everybody. Hit that share button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I always forget to tell everybody, and it really, really helps the algorithm. And I'm just an old fisherman guy. I just keep forgetting about that stuff, and it's super important. Elliot keeps reminding me, you got to let them know. We're not begging you. We're just begging you. So please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the share button, and all that will help. But gang, without any further ado, I just want to tell you, today is Promar Ahi USA Tuesday. We always talk about some great Promar products. Today is the very last day of the 15% off the GT4, the new fluorocarbon by Ahi Promar. You want to have this in your arsenal, 15% off, gang. You grab that QR code. Al talks about it. Justin talks about it. Pablo talks about it. We're always talking about this new GT4 fluorocarbon. There'll be a bunch of it being used over at the tournament on Catalina. This is the stuff. Clear fluorocarbon, my very most favorite. The stuff's easy to tie. It works great. Very non-abrasive. You're going to love this stuff. Grab as many spools as you can and save that 15%. Right now, with what's going on in this economy, every penny matters. You're not going to go fishing without this, so you might as well get the 15% off. And today is the last day. That's been a week already since we launched this 15% off. I'm going to leave the QR code up there for a while so you can take advantage of this. But gang, don't be caught without this on your boat. The GT4 is an incredible product. Look at, they are so incredible. They even used a picture of Justin. Look at in their product. There he is right there. There's our man, Al. There's Justin. Look at him. I don't know why they didn't use you or I, but they used ugly old Justin right there on their picture. But gang, this stuff's an unbelievable product. So check it out. Save your 15% on it. Let's bring in Al Clowers and see what's going on in San Diego, Al.
What's up, everybody? How's it going, Dave? Thanks for having me on.
It's going really good, buddy. I'm glad to have you here. What's going on down there?
Well, like you said, there's bluefin in tight down by the 425, lots of bonita. Down below that on the beach, down off Ensenada, the Ponga guys are trolling up a bunch of bluefin too on the Mad Mac, and then the 60 and the West Butterfly in the bluefin zone. The water temperature the other day down here at the islands got up to 64, so it's looking pretty good. But down below South Island, right at South Island, there's a break where it was 60 and dirty. So up in the islands proper, there's a lot of clean blue water, and there's some nice, real big, fat yellowtail biting down there too. You know, it's not a slam dunk where you put the Rapalas in and load the boat, but it's some days they're up foaming and eating the surface iron and bait, and some days it's a little bit more of a chore, typical fishing, you know. Keep this wind down and the conditions correct, it's just going to get better.
Oh,
down on the beach, you know, we're catching some the calico bites not going off, but getting going in the afternoons. The counts on the calicos at Point Loma Kelp and La Jolla are looking up, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
But there's lots of fish to catch, and the bay's biting from the front to the back. The sand bass are moving in there, so my brother was out there 2 days ago, and there's a sprinkle of sand bass moving in on our areas right now, so that's going to get really good. So sand bass, spotted bay bass, the bonefish are still biting, all that stuff's still biting.
No, that's great. You've been doing this for 40 years. Doesn't it have the makings of just a phenomenal summer? I mean, this spring's looking pretty good right now, right?
Right. Everyone's going to get caught with their pants down if they don't be careful, because once this stuff stabilizes and that red tide goes away, the water temperature is going to climb quick.
I think so.
Right.
And then we need a little bit of consistent weather, just a tiny bit of consistent weather. And it's going to be good.
It was blowing Friday and Saturday pretty bad down here. And then I looked at the offshore stuff at the 60 and stuff yesterday, and it's a little nautical. It's fishable this week, but it's a little nautical out there.
Yeah, you got to pay attention to that windy right now. You got to pick your days and pick in between. What's going on in the back bay? Is there anything happening back there still? Is there any fish?
The back bay's still biting. It hasn't had a chance to get too hot. You know, the ghost shrimp are still living in their little holes, and the bonefish are still biting in the original spots. And the Corvina fishing is pretty dang good too. I tanked up on some bait and went back there. I don't know, it was about 5 days ago or so, and just set the hook. I was in the Riviera, so I couldn't get, I anchored in 6 foot of water, but it was incoming tide, so I was safe. But we got 9 Corvina pretty easily, you know. The key to that stuff is low light. And once that light comes up, and it's great with the overcast days because you get more fishing time. You know, they're out moving around with that overcast more so than on a bluebird morning, you know what I mean? So you can fish them till 9 or 10 o'clock right now. We fished, the bite stopped about 11 for us.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's kind of how it is down here.
Right.
Before that sun comes up, it's pretty darn good fishing in the gray light or in the afternoon at sunset. It's pretty darn, but the middle of the day, that sun's up. Those fish kind of have a tendency to not want to get on your boat.
Right. Hey, I got plenty of availability. I don't know where everybody's at. This is a wild year, man. This is one of the slowest years I've ever seen in many years. You know, the most economical trip I got right now, if you got, for all the light line people that want to go fish the bay, I got a full day bay. It's $300. I need 6 to go for a full day in the bay. And we could roll into the restaurant at noon and have lunch and all that stuff. So I have a lot of open parties. They're not scheduled per day, but I'm open pretty much all this week. So people in the community, whether they want to go big bluefin fishing or fish the bay, I have some open parties, but I need 6 to go to make it economically feasible for myself.
So real quick, Al, give everybody your phone number and let them know, because I want to bring in Patrick here and start talking about the tournament. But gang, listen, like Al said, you're going to get caught with your pants down. If you don't get on these trips as soon as possible, or at least get them booked up, this is all going to come together. And you know that in order to save this election, they're going to start dropping prices really soon here. They're going to start dropping prices. No, they're not. You know that ain't going to happen.
Especially
everything's going up, everybody. So just stand by. If you think Al's charging a lot now, just wait a little bit. He will promise that he's going to have to charge more.
Yeah, I've been looking at them. It's like, man, it should be this, should be that, but right now they're staying the same. But I mean, you're fishing off a beautiful platform. It's you get what you pay for, man.
Absolutely. There's Al's QR code, gang. Grab that, scan it with your phone, grab that QR code. Now, everybody that's driving around in their cars listening to us, Al, give them your phone number, nice and slow and gentle.
Yeah, my direct contact is 619-800-3474. It's 619-800-3474. The fish are biting. Let's go.
Captain Al, I'm going to see you next week when I'm up there for the San Diego Rod and Reel Club, the big seminar I'm doing. Promar's going to send us some stuff, gang. Don't forget, this is the last day of the 15% off, the GT4. You're going to want to have that stuff on your boat. You're going to want to have it. And gang, if you don't have this whole thing figured out and you just want a little bit of guidance, remember Pablo, Justin, and Al are all licensed guides. They can come with you on your boat and take the bend out of the curve. There's nothing better than taking the bend out of the curve, gang. So take advantage of Al. If you have a boat and you want to know how to use it better, call Al. If you don't have a boat and you want to catch a bunch of fish, call Al. Give him a call at 619-800-3474. Al, thank you for your morning, man. Have a great day. Go make it happen.
Right on. Have a good show.
Thanks, buddy. See ya. All right. So listen, gang, we're going to bring in my buddy, Patrick. Now, gang, this guy's living my best life. He is living on what I call Fantasy Island. He lives on Catalina. All right. So stop for a minute and think about that. Since I was a little boy, first time I went to Catalina, all I ever wanted to do was live on the island. Now I live in a first world country down here in Mexico. I know those of you in California wish you lived in a place like this, but here we go. We're bringing in this young man right now. Patrick, welcome to the show.
Hey, sir. How we doing?
I've never been this good. This is the best I think my life's ever going to get. I got a great wife, great monkey, and a great friend in you. And I don't think it's going to get much better than this. But Patrick, what in the heck are you doing?
So, in regards in life or just in the tournament?
Where you are right now, we're going to talk about your bitchin' tournament. Don't worry about that. But where are you? Are you on Catalina Island right this second?
Yes, sir. I'm sitting in my dining room. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, gang! If you haven't been to Catalina, it's magical, right?
Well, my girlfriend calls it Toontown, but yeah, everybody comes off the island. You look around and like all the houses, all the houses are all stacked up, and everybody's rolling around in golf carts, and you're looking around like, where the hell am I? People think that some people even think when they get off the cruise ship that they're like that they disembarked in Mexico somewhere.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's 2 hours, 26 miles across the street from Los Angeles, California, 26 miles across the sea, gang. One of the most magical places on the planet. Back before air flight became so readily available, back in the early 50s is when air flight started to be available. Before that, anybody that was anybody in the United States of America hung out on Catalina. Marilyn Monroe's very first job she ever had was 16 years old, handing people a lei when they walked off the ship, the big white steamer onto Avalon. Ronald Reagan, his very first job ever was announcing for the Chicago Cubs on Catalina Island. Mr. Wrigley built the exact replica of Wrigley's Field, a smaller version, on Catalina. Now it's the golf course, but at one time it was spring training for the Chicago Cubs. There's so much history on the island, gang. There's buffalo, bison on the island. There's deer. There's feral cats everywhere. And then there's a little island fox that lives on the island. There's so much cool stuff at Catalina, gang. If you have never been, you got to put it on your bucket list of things to go to. Like Patrick just said, his girlfriend calls it Toontown. It is magical. You think it's like an amusement park when you go there, and you're like, you look at a guy like Patrick and his children, you go, you guys live here? You go to school here? What's going on, right?
Oh yeah. They don't have to people. I've had people come up to me before and ask when we all go home. Like thinking that at the end of the night, at 10 o'clock at night or something, we all get on a boat and we go back to, we go disembark in Long Beach and we all go home, at the end of the day. And it's like, it's kind of where we are. The school here is the K through 12, and so all my kids attend it. And we got jobs here. And, Amazon delivers regularly, and so that's our go-to. Everything comes across on the barge, whether it's our food, groceries, you name it, lumber. Yeah.
And you work in the power plant there, right?
I work in we have a desalination plant and a couple of wells on the island, and then we also have we're like one of the only diesel power generation plants left in California.
Pretty wild. Pretty wild that you get to be over there and do all that stuff, gang. And it's magical, like I keep saying. But how did you end up there? Because that's not where you started out at. And you did a couple tours. Talk about where you've been and how you got to Catalina for a minute.
Well, I grew up in the Pacific Northwest in Port Angeles, Washington. And it's kind of where, like my love for the outdoors and fishing kind of started from there, And my dad was a school teacher, and so he would have his boat hooked up on the trailer in the teacher parking lot. And then when we'd get out of school, we'd run down, launch the boat, and go troll for silvers, every day after school, and then fish the rivers. And then I joined the Marine Corps in 2002 to because it was a small town. I kind of I figured I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. So I figured I'd kill some time, and make it look good on my resume. And so joined the Marine Corps, was a tank crewman on the Abrams tank, and did 2 deployments in Iraq. I was stationed in 29 Palms. And so that's kind of how I ended up here. And then me and my kid's mom, got together. She graduated high school here on the island, and so we figured we'd come back to the island and hang out for a few years and see how we liked it, and we're both still here, like 10 years later.
Oh, how wonderful! 2 tours in Iraq, though. That must not. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for allowing me to get to do what I do, because I talk about this all the time. I didn't do anything to really deserve the life that I have. So thank you very, very much for everything you did for me. I really appreciate it. And you're doing something right now. You're giving back, and it's a pretty spectacular event that you're about to put on over there in Catalina. And the reason why I asked you to come on the show, first of all, was to thank you for your service, because it means the world to me. If you've watched any of my past shows, this is real. It's not makeup emotion. This is really Dave Hansen. This is me. And it matters more than anything. And then to see what you're doing right now, and you're putting together this beautiful tournament on the island to give back to the veterans. It's just an incredible event. I'm going to show, while you talk about it, I'm going to put up different graphics about this tournament, but talk about what made you decide to do this, because it's not easy. This isn't easy to do. It's trying to herd cats.
Oh man, yeah, it's you said you're involved with the Wounded Warrior tournament, and trying to orchestrate, because like the Wounded Warrior tournament that
Warriors on Water.
The Warriors on the Water, that kind of inspired this event, you know, because you know, seeing all those guys come in and talking to those veterans and stuff, whether they're from Afghanistan or Iraq, you know, and the opportunity to have that brotherhood again and get back out on the water, and get them out on the water, you know, and for a lot of them, it's an opportunity that none of them will ever have, you know, whether they're physical limitations or financial limitations, you know, I mean, fishing's not a cheap man's sport anymore, you know, it's not a poor man's sport no more. But and that with the and I'm involved in the VFW here on the island, you know, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, which we're a group that kind of like we're able to continue our service by serving the community, you know, and then also as a group, you know, we have that camaraderie and that brotherhood, and we're also, you know, we're able to we organize to show up for, like, you know, with another veteran or service member passes away, we, you know, fly the flags and play taps and to honor them and their families. And so I thought that this is a great opportunity, not just to do a tournament, but have an event, you know, that we can have a good time, make a lot. We have the opportunity to make a lot of money that we can put back into the community, as well as bringing veterans out of the woodwork, you know, and kind of getting them out here and getting them on the water and sponsoring them and helping them out, you know, to have the opportunity to get what we take for granted, you know, because I mean, we're out there all the time. We're out there as much as we can, you know, and these guys, it's for some of them, it could be a once in a lifetime opportunity. So, and these are all like, and the group of guys that I got coming over for this trip, I mean, these are all warriors, you know, these are all Purple Heart veterans. If they're not a Purple Heart veteran, they're a hero. You know, they've all served in Iraq, Afghanistan, and so, you know, we're really trying hard to, like, get them over here on the island, get them on the ferry, get them over here, put them up, you know, outfit them with gear to be able to get out there, team them up with captains, and a lot of these captains on the island. You know, a lot of these guys on the island, like I said, the island, like I told you earlier, you know, that the island does it's got a high density of really good people. And there's a lot of guys that know the island really well. They know how to fish. They know how to fish white sea bass, and they've opened up their boats to let these veterans come on with them and take them out and show them a good time and keep them safe. And, you know, and yeah.
Yeah, gang, if you look at that graphic I have up on the screen right now, that QR code, it's easy to use. I've tried it. I know it's small, but it'll work. You can use that QR code. It'll come right up on your screen when you flick it with your camera. So come back to this afterwards and make sure you get involved. But what we're going to do now is we're going to talk to Patrick about how you can get involved. What is this all about? This is a white sea bass tournament. There's also halibut on the list of possibilities to win money in this tournament. But really, forget about winning the money. It's all about giving back to the veterans that have given so much to you and I. Most of us haven't done anything to deserve what we get from these men and women. A lot of them gave them ultimate sacrifice. And it's time for you to stand up and give back, gang. Listen up and just pay attention to what we're talking about here, gang. This is a phenomenal organization. When I heard you on Phil Friedman, I was like, I got to get him. I had to crawl through and get there and get over here and find out how to get a hold of you. I did the research. I found you. You didn't reach out to me. You didn't even know. You still don't even really know who I am, and I understand. But we're going to make sure that Southern California knows about this tournament, knows about who you are and all the men and women that have put this together, so that this is going to be a really bitchin' event, gang. And it's not – I think what you told me on the phone last night when we were talking was really cool. The deal that I do with Freedom Alliance and War Heroes on Water – it requires a phenomenal amount of time and energy and boats. We need a lot of big boats because we're out for 3 days at a time. So that takes away all the smaller boats. Well, now, gang, and so many of you talk to me at so many events going, how can I get involved with my small boat? I want to be there. I want to do this. Well, this is it. This is it. You can come over and do it on a 20-foot boat. You can do it on a 100-foot boat. You can do it on any. That's why I reached out to you, Patrick. This is your chance for all of you that are sitting at home with your trailerable boats, that you wanted to do something with the war heroes. You want to do something with the vets. You want to do something to support this. This is your big opportunity. So pay attention to what we're saying right now, because this is what you've all been asking for. We are going to do War Heroes on Water at the end of September. We do need boats. We need your big boats. We need boats that sleep a couple guys, and we got enough water and food to feed them for 3 days and go fishing all over the place. And a lot of you, that disconnects you from this because you have that 25-foot center console or that 22-foot center console. You can take a veteran with you on those boats now. You can be a part of this. You can be part of the give back. So, Patrick, try to explain to everybody every aspect of the term besides going and catching a big sea bass gang. Like Patrick said before, this absolutely is going to change men and women's lives, because I don't have the exact number, but Patrick, you know the number. There, every day, another person ends their life because they don't think any of us care. And we care more than they will ever know. And this is how you're going to tell them that you care, right?
There's you know, I was thinking about it. You know, I've been thinking about it the last couple of days, and then also, I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, we're doing this right after Memorial Day, right?
Yep.
And you know, I mean, it's like
22 a day, Mike Lewis.
Yeah.
22 a day.
And we, you know, and then when, as a, you know, as a combat vet, you know, it's like when people come up and they say Happy Memorial Day, you know, and you're like, do you know what this day's about? You know, like, pardon me, like, you know, but I mean, that's why we do. I mean, that's why we do what we do. And, you know, I mean, we call, you know, you keeping the wolf from the door, you know, that's why we get deployed. That's why we do our things. You know, that's why we go to, that's why we go to Iraq. That's why we go to Afghanistan. That's why we got these billion-dollar aircraft carriers floating around in front of us, you know, to keep the wolf from the door. And that gives us the ability to have a happy Memorial Day, you know. And but there's a couple of, you know, there's two quotes that I have been roll around in my head often, you know. And one of them is a man can fish his whole life without realizing that it's not fish he's looking for. And then there's another quote, and I honestly have no idea where it came from, but my mother told me it, right? That it's put your toes in the water and let it wash your tears away. And like, if you think about it and you really break that down, you know, I mean, that's really powerful. And like when you're out on the water and you got your lines in, you know, and you're watching the sun come up, you know, I mean, then the thoughts that go through your head, you know, and the feelings that you know, and like the self-reflection that you have, you know, and that's not, I mean, and you don't even have a rod bent over, right? Yeah, I mean, it's just there. You're there on the backside of the island on a beautiful day, you know, the water's glass, and you're just watching that sun come up, and just, you know, appreciating the beauty and the things around you that, you know, and on any other day you wake up in the morning and you don't see it, you don't recognize it, you don't appreciate it. But when you're out there, you do, you know, and you have that self-reflection. And then as the day progresses, you know, and everybody gets their coffee in, and then somebody cracks a cold one, and then then you start joshing around, talking shit, and, you know, and then you know, then that's where the camaraderie, you know, the camaraderie portion that, you know, I mean, us as tough guys, we don't really think about it, but, you know, I mean, that's what we need, you know. And so that's what I'm really hoping to
accomplish with this tournament, right?
Yeah, and I really want to involve I really want to get our brothers and sisters out there who served involved in this, to give them the opportunity to have that and build those friendships and know that we are still a community. You know, we're still on the same team. And whether you're Navy, Army, Air Force, Marine Corps, I mean, yeah, we talk crap back and forth, you know, but like, but at the end of the day though, you know, I mean, we're all on the same team. And yeah, so.
Yeah, you're doing good. You're doing great. Don't worry, Patrick. You're doing a phenomenal job. You're explaining it beautifully. People are understanding what you're saying. So just keep on going, buddy. Don't stop. So we want to get involved in this tournament. There's a lot of us out here standing on the outside that are dying for an opportunity like this to give back. We have boats. We have a lot of private boaters in our community, a lot, that have been dying for an opportunity to do this. So how can we get involved? What do we need to do? What we want to get involved in this tournament on Catalina. We want to give back to the veterans. We want to do everything we can. And I know we can donate, but man, there's nothing better than donating your time and being out on your boat with one of these war heroes out at Catalina on the backside of the island. And let's just say you have a boat, but you're not real sure about the fishing. There's plenty of guys on the island that will go with you and teach you, or Justin or Pablo or Al will come with you, whatever it's going to take to get some more veterans out on the water, gang. We're all here. Al's standing by, Justin's standing by. They're going to jump in later on in the show and talk about what they can bring to the table and offer. But right now, explain to people, because the tournament's on the 8th of June. So we got a little bit of time to get this stuff together. And I know you have a full-time job, plus you're a dad and you have 3 children, and then you're herding these cats to try to put together this tournament. So you got a lot of stuff on your table, and that's why I had no problem finding you and jumping in here and trying to help you. And I know the story we just told was tough for both of us, but it needed to be told so we can talk about the good part. So this tournament's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to save people's lives, gang. You don't understand. I've been on the back deck of the boat listening to the stories before of the men and women, and I've seen them. And they actually, yeah, big, gnarly human beings, big, gnarly. But, hey, we're all humans at the end of the day. So look at, how can we get involved, Patrick? Talk about that part of it. What is this all about? How can we get involved in this tournament? How can we turn our boats onto this?
Well, one of the big limitations, a big limitation that I'm really kind of running into. Well, a couple of the limitations that I have right now that I've running into is so like my house, right? So all these guys that are coming over, you know, I mean, they're aren't but Army guys, Marines, you know, and so we're all gonna stack up in my house. We're gonna throw up some blow-up mattresses, you know, put them in the living room, you know, up in the kids' room. We're going to stack up like cordwood in here. And we're going to have a good time doing it, you know, but you know, I mean, being able to put these guys up somewhere, you know, I mean, you know, early June, it's a busy time on the island. And like, you know, I mean, you're talking for a hotel, it's $350, $400 a night. And that's just, you know, I mean, at this point where we are right now, that's not feasible. I mean, hopefully as the tournament gets bigger, you know, we'll have the financial ability, as well as maybe these some of these businesses, more and more businesses will see the opportunity we'll seize the opportunity to you know, like donate rooms or Airbnb or something like that to be able to put these guys up. But that and just and tackle the gear, you know, rod and reels and stuff like that. Like, you know, it's real tough to talk somebody into handing over an $800 fishing rod and reel to a novice fisherman who doesn't know what he's doing. You know, it's like, don't drop it. You know, especially if he's got one arm. You know, it's a tough sell. But so like, I mean, yesterday we ordered an electric reel for one of our guys that is coming in here to because so, you know, so he's an amputee, you know, so we got him an electric reel so he can fish. and and trying to accommodate these guys with if they need slickers, boots, all those things. We're trying to get them outfitted so they're out there and they're comfortable and able to enjoy themselves.
And gang, there's so many people on here listening that have the ways and the means to help out. This is a brand new tournament. So understand, like I said in the very beginning, for Patrick, he's a father. He is doing the very best he can. He's a veteran, he's a father, but he sees the need and the want to do this. So we need, as a community in this sport fishing thing, to come together. Let's help Patrick. Let's get involved, gang. We're going to have so many ways for you to call him, talk to him, get involved with him. But remember, he has a job too. So he has to go back to work. So if you don't hear from him immediately, take a deep breath and he'll call you back. But all this tournament is a big event, putting it all together, trying to get it all together. So understand, what he's telling you is the absolute truth. We need every kind of whatever you think of. You got a box of hooks you want to give them the box of hooks. You got line, whatever it is. If you have a boat, bitchin'. If you have fishing rods, great. I personally, when you were telling the story about an $800 fishing rod, well, if you don't have the ability to hand your $800 rod off, then you suck anyway. I fired deckhands for not handing a fish off to kids on the boat before because they're, oh, that's my favorite rod. Well, then you don't work here anymore. So take your favorite rod and get the hell out of here. Because this matters more than anything. I'll give you every one of my rods. I don't care. They can drop every one of the damn things over again. I can buy another rod. This guy can't get another arm. This gal can't get another foot. So remove head and listen and pay attention. We need all of the community, all of you. That's why I told you when we started the show today, share this, because there's so many people out there that have the ability to give and make this one of the most spectacular events. To think of everybody bunking up in your house, those of you that are out there listening, you're like, no way, really? But you'll step over a veteran on the street to put money in a box to save a gosh darn sea lion. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. And then my good friend Brent wants to know, is there still an opportunity to camp up there by the baseball park?
Yeah, there's shoot, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's above the baseball field. You go past the base, up above the golf course, and then there's a field up towards by the Wrigley Memorial, the Botanical Gardens. There's a campground up there, and then also, like, a lot of guys, like, you can drop the hook and sleep on your boat right out in front and not even have to pay for a mooring, if you don't want to do that. But I mean, there's a lot of opportunities other than spending $350-$400 a night in a hotel.
Yeah, there's a million opportunities. I know that a lot of you are like, oh, it's too much of a hassle. Well, really? Then you don't understand what we're trying to do here. So,
if you don't like a hassle, you don't fish. And talk about a hassle. That's self-induced. That's self-induced drama there. Just trying to get out fishing. I lost sound on you.
Can you hear me now?
Son of a gun. There we go. I'm so sorry, sir.
We're back. Yay.
Operator error.
It was my fault. Something wrong.
But yeah, the QR code, if anybody wants to get a hold of me directly, the QR code on the flyer, there's a Q&A on there where you can click go through the website, Operation Gray Ghost, and go down there. And if there's any questions if there's any questions or, anything, it comes directly to me. And so I can answer anything that, anything that, I don't know, that you might come up with. But I think the rules are pretty simple. The biggest rule that we're really trying to push here is that the fish has to be caught on Catalina coastal waters. so that way it gives everybody the opportunity to gives everybody a fair shake, because I mean the price of fuel and everything, we're not running all over Southern California for this, and so and also something that I really want to put out there too is that this isn't like, my vision for this isn't just a fishing tournament, right? I mean, this is an event, I mean, we got live music, we're putting food out there, we got a beer garden set up, we're gonna have we're right by the Catalina Express where people come on and off of the boat. And so if there's anybody listening out there who maybe has a company that might want to sponsor the event, you can advertise there, and there's gonna be, you're gonna have between 1,000 and 2,000 people walking by just getting on and off the Express. And you can unload at Float 5 because we're right at the Veterans Memorial Park there. It's for the fish weigh-in, so that's really convenient. And it's just a really cool opportunity to bring anglers together, the community together, and veterans, and we all just get together and have a good time. I mean, even if you end up skunked, you're going to end the day. You're going to end the day awesome. And we chose June 8th for a reason, right? It's 3 days after the new moon, so the tide should be great. And like you were saying, you were saying earlier, how the water temperature has been warming up a little bit slow this year, and a lot of fishermen are kind of a little bit concerned about that. Well, I, as a sea bass fisherman, am excited about it because the water should be perfect during the event. Usually, last year, the sea bass was going off right now, and then by June, it kind of was starting to slow down. Well, this year, I think the water temperature is going to be that perfect 63, 64. And hopefully it'll be going off. And if you're not fishing that weekend for sea bass anyways, then you're not a good sea bass fisherman, because you should be, because that's the weekend you should be fishing.
And then this tournament, what's going on? The Warriors are coming over to the island. You already have all your Warriors on boats. Do you need more boats?
I think we're pretty set. We're pretty set on boats right now, especially because with the amount of guys that I can accommodate. And so I got a couple of guys that got some decent boats. Like I said, we got some, part of the thing you're saying, these guys for the Wounded Warrior thing, they need a big boat just to be able to get out there, but also you need a stable platform, because prosthetics don't typically have the best traction, and you need a stable platform for these guys with their disabilities to be able to move around and maneuver safely on a boat. You can't take a guy in a wheelchair and put him on a 19-footer and be setting in the trough trying to fish. They're going to be sliding all over the place, and somebody's going to lose a tooth.
So then basically what we just need more people to be involved in going fishing on their boats and paying the money to get on into the tournament and being there.
Come on out. Come on out for the tournament, and really for an event like this, I mean, shoot, if you know a guy who served, if somebody who was deployed, I mean, this is a really great opportunity to reach out to them and take them out, bring them out. And then take them out fishing and come to the event, and enjoy the island, and because why not? I mean, it's all about giving back. And like I said, you don't know what that trip could do for somebody, and I mean, we don't even know what it does for us when we go out. I mean, but there's a reason why after you don't go fishing, if it's not fishing season, you haven't been on the water in a few months, and all of a sudden you start getting a little cranky, it's there's a reason why, your heart needs it. Your soul needs it. You got to get out there.
So I want to introduce you to one of my really good buddies, one of my guides, one of my friends, but known him since he was a young man. And he's got a boat. It can take 4 guys. So if there's some of you out there that just want to come on this tournament and fish this tournament and be a part of this thing, you don't have a boat, but you'd love to be a part of this and come over and meet all the gang. Here, I want to introduce you to Justin. Patrick, Justin.
How do you do, sir?
How's it going?
Good.
Very good.
Are you busy on June 8th?
No, I have nothing scheduled. I actually have nothing scheduled until this Saturday and then June 15th.
So, gang, you're listening to this, you're watching what we're talking about. How rad would it be to be over at Catalina hanging out with all these war heroes and being a part of this tournament? You got an opportunity to go with Justin on his boat, be there, grab one of your veteran buddies and go out on Justin's boat and go over there and fish this tournament. You can give Justin a call. But Justin, Patrick, I think this is really cool that we're able to throw this together here right at the last second and throw Justin in on the mix, because I think there's a lot of people hanging out here listening to this going, I want to be there, right? How pitching. So that's a cool thing that you're offering, Justin. So let everybody know how they can get a hold of you that are driving around their car and they want to come with you on your boat. Tell them about your boat. Tell them about Catalina's kind of your backyard. You kind of know that island a little bit.
Yeah, I know it a little bit, just a little bit. So you can give me a call or text at 951-703-9442. So, and then is Rylan going to be the deckhand? We can make that happen.
That would be pretty special for Rylan. Rylan's his son, Patrick. It would be pretty cool for him to be involved. Gang, all of you that ride with Justin all the time, and you guys, there's a ton of you out there. For Al or for Pablo to come up there, it's a 70-mile one-way ride. The nice thing about Justin being there right there, he's right 22 miles. You guys get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and drive over there. You can be there in time for the shotgun start in the morning. And guys like Mike Lewis, and I know there's a lot of veterans that are members of the website. I think this is a tournament you all need to be a part of. You want to get on Justin's boat and go over there and do this. It's going to be a really spectacular event. And then, like you were saying, you got a beer garden, you got food, everything, the banquet, the weigh-in at the end. One of your buddies was talking about it. I can't even remember. I had it up on the screen for a little bit. One of your, Eduardo, you know that guy?
Yeah.
He said
he's my coworker, and he's also been like one of the biggest. He has been like one of the biggest advocates, really helping me out with organizing this tournament, selling raffle tickets. You know, he's really been pushing hard for us. I 100% appreciate everything that he's really done, him and his wife.
Well, that's great. And then there's a lot of people, Patrick, that are listening. They're not watching, so they're not seeing the QR code. They're not seeing all the cool graphics we're throwing up there. So how can people that are driving around and go slow, because there's a lot of old guys like me, we're not lightning fast. So how can they find this? How can they get a hold of this? How can they get to be a part of this with their own private boat, or jump on Justin's boat, or just come over and hang out on the island and see the festivities?
Well, it's Operation Gray Ghost, right? Is our that's the name of the tournament, and so we have a website set up, www.operationgrayghost.com, and if you know much about sea bass, that's kind of the nickname there, and then also like my handle kind of on Instagram and Bloody Decks is Patricio Demand. And you can hit me up on either one of those. I don't know. I know it sounds corny, but Patricio Demand, yeah, DAMAN. But yeah. So Operation Gray Ghost is our website, and you, yeah, and in that you can click the link to be able to message me.
And then, gang, we're going to put all the information up on our website also. And this video will be, you can go on YouTube and you can go on Facebook and watch this video after you get home tonight or whatever, when you're driving in your truck and all the other things that are going on. But, gang, what we're doing is we're not offering Justin's boat for free. I just want you to understand that. You guys can charter Justin's boat or buy open party tickets, go over there and participate in this tournament is what we're trying to say, gang. Justin and we want to give back as much as we possibly can. We're offering the boat for you to charter to go over there and fish, or if you get 4 guys open party that want to go over there and do it, that's all available to you. We're not donating the boat. I want you to understand. We would love to be able to, but we don't live in that world. We both are just worker guys, fishermen here. We're just trying to offer up our services to let you know that that is an option if you want to take part in it and go fishing at Catalina with Justin. It's just one more way to give back, gang. It's just one more way. Throw another veteran on the boat. Donate a ticket to take a veteran fishing, or buy a ticket for a veteran and you go with them, whatever. But there's just so many opportunities to be involved in this thing. And I want to make it a huge event. And I want to be talking about this next year and the year after and the year after. I want to see all the great pictures afterwards on here about how much fun everybody had at the event. And just understand, this is the first year. So relax and understand you're giving back to vets. You're giving back to the veterans, the people that we celebrated yesterday. This is what it's all about, like Patrick said in the beginning. So just go in with an open mind and be ready to help. Just help.
And for anybody who's like, there's a surprising amount of people out there who are on the water all the time, and they like a sea bass is like on their bucket list, and this is the weekend to fish for white sea bass. The tides should be great. The water temperature, like I said, it's warming up a little bit slow, so like hopefully it'll be perfect around that time. And like, this is sea bass season. So if you want to catch a white sea bass, this is the weekend to get out on the water and do it. So why not spend an extra $100 and enter a tournament, you know? And you could end up paying for your fuel for the entire fishing season. So it could be a win.
It's going to be a win whether you catch a fish or not, right, Justin?
Hells yes. It's going to be a good time. Like I said, it's not just a fishing tournament; it's an event, you know. And we're going to have a good time, and the community together with music and a beer garden, and you're right on the water in Avalon. It's yeah.
Yep.
Taking my boat out there costs like a phenomenal amount of money, right? And I want to give my time. So what I can do for everyone is, if you need someone on your boat, I'll donate my time to come on your boat. Free.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow.
Especially if you want to win a tournament.
Yeah, I think there's Mike Lewis. I think there's plenty of guys here, though, that are veterans that would love to be a part of this. I think that we're not going to have a problem filling up your boat for this one, Justin. I think as this hits the airwaves and everyone shares this, like I asked you all to and begged you to share this, I think more people in Southern California don't even know this tournament's going on. They don't have a clue. That's why it was super important to bring you on here and open up everybody to this great opportunity to hang out with some real, true heroes, not some guy that dribbles a basketball, that hates America, that tells you that America sucks and he kneels down and you think he's the greatest basketball player in the world. The guy actually sucks as a human being. That's not a hero. He's not a hero, ladies and gentlemen. This guy right here on the screen with us, Patrick, that's a true American hero. And all the men and women that gave everything for this country and allowed us to celebrate yesterday, those are real heroes, not a guy that dribbles a basketball. That's not a real hero. But again, get involved with this tournament. I'm going to throw the QR code up on the screen one more time while Patrick's taking us out of here and telling you all the cool things that are going to happen on Catalina during the tournament.
I wanted to add something really quick. So if I do go on someone's boat, there has to be at least a couple war heroes out there. I always think of war heroes on water, but there has to be some veterans on the boat. There has to be. I'm not going to go with someone with no veterans. So just saying.
So what's going on the island? Go through it one more time.
We got the Operation Gray Ghost tournament coming up. It's a $2,500 first place prize. Second place is a Seeker rod and reel, and the guys at Seeker are phenomenal. I called them up and I told them what we're doing, and they were like, "Oh, well, just come." I asked them if maybe I was hoping they could like maybe throw some hats or something, and I go down there and they they handed me over this a beautiful rod. It's like a $450 rod or something. And I was like, well, you want me to like advertise for you guys or something? And they were like, nah, don't worry about it. We just want to support you and thank you. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, so yeah, so second place, and we got a nice Shimano reel on there for and Shimano they gave us like it's kind of like an at cost discount, so they really hooked us up there. And we're also raffling off we're out Longfin Tackles kicking us down some gear, so we're going to be having that for raffles. And we got our shirts online that they look really clean. And yeah, June 8th, and we're got a beer garden, tacos, music, all the things to make a good Saturday going. And we're really looking forward to it. I mean, I look forward to this year. I look forward to this all year. I know my buddies have been looking forward to this all year. And yeah, and again, like, I'm not making any money off of this. Nobody's making any money off of this. This is going to the VFW, and also to sponsor these guys just to come over here and take part in it with us.
Yeah, gang. And how much does it cost to get into the tournament again?
So it's $100 to get into the tournament, and then there's a $25 per person, and a $25 side bet for yellowtail, $25 side bet for halibut. And what the pot is for the side bets, it depends on how many people buy in, and everybody, if you are part of the tournament, everybody who's on the boat fishing, everybody who's on the boat needs to be registered into it. Like, you can't have one guy on the boat who bought into the tournament and then nobody else bought into the tournament, because who's to say who caught the fish, right? So that in the Catalina coastal waters, like, it's got to be caught on around the island. And other than that, there's really no real specifications or anything. Oh, and the smallest fish, it's a legal white sea bass. For I figure if you bring in the smallest legal white sea bass, you get your money back. And the whole idea with that is I just really want everybody to come in. I want everybody to weigh their fish. I want everybody to see what's going on and take part of it and enjoy, and so it's really kind of just trying to bring everybody in there.
No, I think it's a great idea. I can't emphasize it enough how important this is going to be for all of you to be there, to be a part of this. It changes your life. It changes your heart. You're going to change. You could save human beings' lives. You don't understand. Just getting out there on the boat, or the camaraderie of being on the dock, or the camaraderie of being at the pier when they bring in the fish to weigh. That's the whole thing, is all part of the thing. And you can't really worry about the money part of it as far as winning the tournament. What I would think, most of the guys that are going to be in this tournament, when it comes to the end and they win that $2,500, they donate it right back to the VFW, because that's what this is all about, gang. It's about camaraderie, but it's about giving back to the men and women that have given the greatest sacrifice. So try to get involved with this tournament any way you can. Get a hold of Patrick. Get a hold of Justin. I want to next Monday, when we come back on here, we're going to bring Patrick on to let us know where we're at in this tournament. I want Justin to be sitting there with a big smile on his face, telling me that the boat's full and he had to make another spot for another guy. Remove head from butt, gang. This is what we talk about all the time. This is time to show what this community is all about. This is time to let everybody know that we are better than that type of community as far as fishing goes.
And when you come up on the dock, come up to me, let me know. Let me know you saw it on the show, and introduce yourself. And like, I'm really, I'm a pretty social guy, and like, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to hearing how people heard about the event, how they got involved in it, and if you can think of a way that maybe you want to be able to sponsor or help, even next year, like, let me know, and so I put you in the notes. And every year that, like, this, what's so cool about this event is, like, it has so much potential. and we can do so many cool things with it. Like we want to it was actually my daughter's idea. We want to partner up with some kind of conservation effort, you know, and you were talking about on your other podcast with the that last tournament. What was it called? The Stars tournament. Yeah, and they were saying that they need sea bass heads. You know, I mean, like, I didn't know that. You know, like, so, you know, I mean, how can, you know, and maybe we can partner up with them, or like there's a lot of other entities that we can bring together all on this. And so with that, if anybody has any great ideas, hit me up, you know, because this is a continual evolution, and it's going to get bigger, and it's going to get better every year.
That's the start you just brought up, Patrick, is the Stars tournament.
Yes, sir.
So everyone that is involved with that tournament should be involved with the CCA Stars tournament, because more than likely they're going to be entered to win something on the Stars tournament as well, and you can get the free tape measure all over the place. So just take a picture of it and send it.
And you should all be in the Stars tournament anyway. If you fish in California, you should all be a member of CCA. You should all stop voting for Democrats, and you should all be. I'm sorry, you can't be both. You cannot be a fisherman and vote Democrat. You just can't. That's just ridiculous. You're voting for closures, and then you're buying a fishing license. Remove head from rectum again, gang. I'm sorry. Like I told you all you ever get here is truth. It might not be the truth you like, but it is the truth.
Well, we woke up one morning, and all of a sudden the whole China Point, you know, that whole section of the island was closed, you know, and why? Like, I mean, I didn't see any biology reports or any studies or anything. They were just like, you know, you can't fish here anymore, you know. And it's like
in 2019 after the election. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but the why? I don't know.
So go over tournament date, time.
So June 8th, lines in the water at 3:00 in the morning, weigh-ins at 16:30 and 4:30 in the PM, you know. And if you are coming into Avalon Harbor at 4:30, it doesn't count. You got to have boat on dock at 4:30. You come up at 4:31 and 4:35, and it's not going to count. So
June 8th, 3:00 in the morning, and then you got to be on the green pier at 4:30.
Float 5
with your fish. What?
Float 5, 4:30. Veterans Memorial. You come into the harbor. You got the Catalina, where the Catalina Express pulls in right there. The very, very end dock. There's the very, very end dock. Float 5, not the green pier. Okay. You'll see the flag set up. We'll have an American flag set up and the VFW flag set up and everything right there. And you'll see looks like Mayhem. That's kind of where we are. We're in the Mayhem right there.
So is it check-in at 3:00 in the morning?
No, just lines in. The check-in, like, because I know there's too many guys out there as far as check-in goes. I know there's too many guys out there. They're gonna go out there and they're gonna light up for squid. And, you know, they're going to be going out the night before trying to make bait. Cause that's what I would do. So
that's what I'm planning on doing also.
Yeah.
And you know, just like everywhere, people are going to cheat, but if you won the tournament cheating, big deal. Now you can really feel like a really big human being. You cheated in a tournament for veterans.
And also,
they'll do it. They'll do it.
It's a small island. And I know a lot of local guys are really going to be out there. They're really going to be giving it hell, you know. And there's eyes everywhere. And just don't be a dick.
Yeah,
you know.
Exactly. Thank you.
Don't be that. Don't do it. You know. And especially and don't make me be one, because it's not. I don't want. Nobody wants to do that. That's not what this is about. We're here to have a good time. You know, kill some fish and eat tacos and, you know, talk trash. That's it.
Yep. So Justin, give everybody your number one more time. All the people driving in the cars, then we'll finish with Patrick's way to get a hold of him. And we'll wrap this up.
All right, my phone number is 951-703-9442.
And let's get him booked up for this trip, gang. Let's get Justin booked up so he doesn't have to go get on someone else's boat. Let's get him out there on his boat, tanked up with 4 really good human beings on the boat. And then Patrick, one last time, tell them how to get involved. How do we find your website? What do we do?
www.operationgrayghost.com. And the QR code there's a Q&A that it goes directly to me, and it worked for Dave. It'll work for you. And Patricio the Man on Instagram, or through Bloody Decks, but I don't really check Bloody Decks that much. But Instagram, I'll throw my number out there. Just but don't harass me. 323-659-8082. And and so you can call me directly if you have any comments or questions. But go through the QR code.
Thank you, Patrick, for your time today. Justin, thank you for your time today, buddy. And
Justin, if you don't get on a boat, dude, I'll throw a blow-up mattress on the floor. You can come party with us for the weekend. It's gonna be great.
All right, sounds good.
You can bring your boy. There's one saying that we got in the Marine Corps: there's always room for one more. Yeah,
well, I think that the community is going to come together. I don't think too many people are going to be sleeping outside in the blanket. So let's get together, gang. We'll bring Patrick back in next Monday. We'll have all the guides here. We'll show you what the community is all about, Patrick. So thank you for being on the show, everybody today. Thank you for watching, and just keep following us, keep staying with us, and we'll just keep bringing in all these great guests like Patrick. It's just another phenomenal day for me. I'm walking out of here with a ton of energy. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go fight all the dinosaurs or all the dragons the rest of the day. And I know you got to get back to work, Patrick. So thanks for your time. Justin, thank you very, very much for jumping on here with us. I thought it was important because I know you have a giant following that want to get involved with this. So I don't think you're going to have a problem. I'll bet you're booking up today. Gang, thank you all very, very much. Turn off the news. They're all lying. Don't forget, today is the last day, the very, very last day to get 15% off that GT4 fluorocarbon that Justin made so famous. You don't want to miss out on this, gang. Grab that QR code, because tomorrow there's no more 15% off the GT4. It's back to just 10% off, which still ain't bad, but you could have saved some more money. Right, Justin?
Absolutely.
You ever use that stuff?
Use it every single day.
Yeah, that's what the sea bass.
You know what is even better? Well, no, I don't know if it's better, but what other people are also going to be buying? The wind-on leader. As soon as they start seeing me live catching those bluefin and everything with the wind-on leader, they're going to be flying off the shelves.
Oh, yeah, and look at Patrick. He thinks it's so cool because his picture's on the wind-on leader.
Wait, I never gave permission for that. No, I'm just kidding.
He loves that. That's why he said it, because he wanted me to pull the picture and put it up on this. I know you. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for a great show today. We'll see you all tomorrow. Turn off the news. Oh, no. Tomorrow, my good friend Kevin Cubby Paul is back having a procedure done. So I'm going to drive his boat tomorrow. So our show tomorrow is going to be at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. It will not be at noon, gang. Our show tomorrow is at 6 o'clock because I'm helping out my good friend Kevin Cubby Paul, who's having a procedure done right now in the hospital. He's watching the show. He's sitting right there. He just said, "Hi, Justin. Cubby, we love you. We hope you feel better, bud. I hope everything goes smooth."
Wait, you're driving Cubby's boat tomorrow?
Yeah, I know.
All right, I'm coming down. I'm coming down tonight. Oh yeah, party time, baby!
Woo, party on Cubby's boat. Yeah, I gotta go drive that crappy little 65 Viking tomorrow.
Right?
It's terrible.
You guys live a hard life.